What is going on, everyone, and welcome to episode 15 of Can I Solo? So this episode is going to be special. I don't even know if I could do it. We're going to be attempting Cradle of Shadows. So I know I can two-man this dungeon, but solo, it's actually probably one of the difficult ones. And when I actually sit here and think about this, I'm like, before I start recording, what could possibly go wrong? And then I think about it, and every boss could go wrong. So I just want to see how far I can get. I'm not sure if I can solo it, but I know for sure if I had like a healer or a tank, I could definitely do this, no problem. But yeah, we're gonna be doing it simply because it's the pledge today, and I've never actually done this on hard mode, so yeah. Anyway, let's go. Shadowfen. It is Cradle of Shadows. To be honest, in my mind, I think maybe the second boss is what's going to get me. And if I somehow manage to do that, the third one will get me. Because there's a lot of multitasking you have to do. And then as for Veladreth, I think I may be able to do that one fairly okay or well. But the only things that are going to stump me are the second and third boss. But you never know until you try it, so before I start, I just want to say, don't expect a completed run. If we do get it, that's like a miracle. So I know I can do this, but just not solo. Oh god, I did not slot my stuff. I was still on Maelstrom bars. Alright, let's fix that up immediately. Dual wield. Switch that one out. Do I really need the traps? Or will it do better? I don't know. For soloing this dungeon, I think I might actually need, like, double heals. Where is it? There it is.
Spill their blood for the lady.
So what that devotion totem does is essentially it just shoots out extra beams at you, and you generally want to kill it. Also, there's an achievement for doing it on vet, or where if you kill all the ads before the totem, I think you get an achievement for that one. They just kind of come out of nowhere. Damn you, Night Blades. Heavy sack. One day I'll get more 5 Kuta packs, and that would be an awesome day. I don't really know where I'm looking. I'm just kind of looking for heavy sacks and stuff. Or you could just drop your ultimate because you can't loot the item. Ooh, another heavy sack. Nothing else. Alright, we're moving on. So the hardest part about this dungeon, I feel like in doing it solo, is just there's way too many mechanics and things I have to watch out for. As for the damage itself, shouldn't be a problem until we get to the bosses. You kind of blended in a little bit. Alright, boys, let's do this. My bar is jammed. think that Shadow Caller's enraged. We should probably kill it. I wish you could just pull the lever from here and just skip. You can see the lever, and what that lever does is open that door, but you have to go the long way around. So, unfortunately,
this seems excessive.
it's a no-go.
Have to find another way out of here. Lever. Just at reach 2. Typical.
So just in case you've never done Cradle of Shadows before for some reason, you have to light the braziers, and if you don't, and you stand in the shadow for too long, your screen turns black, and you move slower, you take constant damage over time. And in vet mode, you just take an increasing tick of damage every time you stand in the shadow. However, on normal, it's a consistent number. So like, let's say in normal you take 500 damage a second. In vet, you would be taking like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 until you die. So that's why it's important to light the things. Also in normal, the spiders take normal damage while they're in the shadow. And in vet, they take like half damage, I believe, while in shadow. So that's why you generally want to kill them in the light. Sometimes they don't funnel to you. It's really just RNG. Will they come to you this time? Will they not? For some reason, I just feel like I'm moving slower. Alright, we're coming up to the first boss. Some prep you can do is light all the braziers at once. Generally, you only need 2. You could light the third one to be safe, but realistically, unless you're on vet, it's not a big deal. Please, don't stand there. Come closer. In the light so I can burn. A certain amount of time will pass and then she will blow out the brazier, and generally that's not good like that. And then it's when you kind of want to rotate a little bit. And then when the second one goes out, I usually go back to the first one just because it's a little bit closer. So dumb. They don't follow you. Alright, boss 1 down. I didn't think that one would be too much of an issue. I think the next one is where we might get stuck unless I have really high damage. Which, in my case, probably not. Why won't you come into light, spiders? Why? All right. Or I could accidentally drop my ultimate twice now.
Insects thrashing against the web.
Alright, so I'll just try to briefly explain the mechanics of this boss before we actually start, so I don't have to explain it midway. So, when you pull her, she's going to do a few different attacks. One is a ground slam, one is like a necrotic orb. It's kind of like she throws a pulse at you and then it knocks you back. And the next one is she says something and the braziers go out. And when the braziers go out, she summons spiders. You have to like relight them. So unfortunately, that's a pain. So it's a lot of mechanics. I think I might actually get stuck here, if anything. And then when you see a red orb around her, you move immediately, like right there. And then she also teleports. You have to try to interrupt her a lot. So you want to try to light that, interrupt, or that happens. Alright, so
There is no escape. Fall before the night.
when she heavy attacks, you block that one immediately. And then just keep trying to burn through it.
Mistress, hear my call.
The ground slam, you want to block that one. You can interrupt her red attack. You don't want to get hit too much by that one.
There is no escape. Her brood will feast tonight.
Try to light all the braziers again.
She desires your suffering. Die in the dark. Mistress, hear my call.
The longer you let those sit for, the more the spiders will hit you, and it hurts.
Fall before the night. Hear the whispers of the night. She will strangle the night. Her brood will feast tonight.
Most of it's all just RNG. Can you get her to stay in one spot?
She desires your suffering.
Yeah, when she teleports really closely, that's good.
She will strangle the light. Her brood will feast tonight. Drown in the dark. Lady
Oh, I got it. Yes. The struggle. Oh my god. It hurts. My soul almost died inside. That was about as difficult as doing a stage on Maelstrom. Oh, alright, so one of the two hard bosses is now over. We are still on the struggle bus, though. I'm pretty sure if you had... Oh, wait. We're going backwards. Okay. You don't actually have to light them once she's dead, but I kind of do. Is that the boss? Oh, is that just an... Oh, that is a boss. I forgot to loot it. God. That was actually difficult. Now, the next one, Draenos, is going to be a pain simply because there's just a lot of things I have to watch out for. It's just most of this dungeon is a struggle. Though I do really like the mechanics for it. It's just not easy. Alright, so what's coming up is a mini spider boss. Want to kill the totem. The totem's not actually a threat, but I just kind of like killing it. Habit of veteran. So the mechanics for this boss is essentially don't stand in red. Try to block things. It's kind of like if you've done spindle clutch before, like that. Don't stand in poison rings. Usually the tank does a good job at holding it in place. I really just have to watch my stamina to know when to roll. Like right there. That's when you roll. Execute. Boss is down.
Giant spiders? No surprise there. Wait. It's the Rings field captain, Tranus Valadoran. No.
It is done, Velador. The remaining shadow scales are dealt with.
I'm afraid you're mistaken, my friend. Another member of your tribe has breached the gates.
Alright, so this is where the run may or may not end after like 5 tries. So, before we do anything, I'll explain the mechanics. You attack the boss will or trigger on you, or aggro, I guess you can say. Since he's going to be on you at all times, you have to avoid a lot of red circles. You have to avoid like stuns from the boss. You have to CC break. And one of his abilities is summoning shadows. You have to kill 2 of them, and then he goes... While he's in the shadow form, he's going to be attacking you, and you're killing the shadows. And he's invincible, so you can't just burn through it. And then about 60% of his health, when that's gone, to see the spider thingy in the middle, that's going to start shooting waves that hurt a lot. So generally staying farther out is the better strategy. But when you're doing this solo, it's really not an option. So I'll really just call out when things are happening. Yeah, like that. That hurts. You gotta block that.
Don't keep our lady waiting.
Oh, you get tethered, or you also just die. That's a mechanic too. Because the way this works is if you get tethered, your other teammates are supposed to kill the shadows behind it. And if you don't, he just heavy attacks you and you just instant die. So either we have to get good RNG and not die to it, or get hit by that, or we're just dead. Simple.
Sorry, this affair is invitation only.
So this one might not actually be possible to solo.
Time to sweep you away.
The heavy attacks do a lot of damage, so you have to like block that as well. Oh, I'm dead. Yep, so I'm pretty convinced you can't solo this one. You have to have a tank or something with you, or a healer. Most likely a tank, but I don't think you can solo this one.